My best friend and Carly came over and we imbibed in some PBR high soda pops, and then we decided to make a feast, a southern feast. So good luck with that. Here are our stations. I'll give you the tour. First, we have our macaroni and cheese station, and then look at those cheeses. We're gonna have to shred those by hand. And by we, I mean her. And then we have our fried okra station. Spoiler alert: we do not get to this, but you know what? We can dream, can't we? And then we have our cornbread station with this milk was expired at the time, but I smelled it and I tasted it and it was fine. And it's going in the oven. It's gonna be okay, guys. We're the only ones eating it. And then we have our collard greens station. This was my first time attempting this, and I was really excited. The pork hocks were going to be our protein, and then Papa John coming in clutch when this was the only red pepper I had. So you know what? Thanks, Papa. Had to have a little snack station set up. We have our industrial size hummus, and then a variety of chips, tzatziki, and shrimp and such. Okay, so for our pork hock, we are going to start by cooking it off in a little bit of oil, and you want it to sizzle like crazy. You can't hear it, but it is. And then, yeah, dude, it's spitting. You be careful, but you want it to like caramelize a little bit. And then when it's caramelized enough, you're going to add some of our onion right here. Now, it is really hard to stir around to fat old pork hocks. And I don't know. I was doing my best. And Jarlic's always invited to my party. And if you don't like that, you're not invited to my party. And then we get our crushed red pepper flakes, courtesy of the Papa. That might have been a little too much, and we're just gonna see what happens. Sorry, guys. So just mix that around as much as you can, and then it's gonna like wilt down, and then you're gonna add a whole mess of chicken stock in there until it's all nice and covered, and then a little bit of hot sauce. I have Valentina, that's my preferred. Alrighty, and then we're gonna like let that come up to temp. And then in the meantime, we're gonna make some cornbread, and you guys know how to make the cornbread. It says it on the box. I like to use a fork because I don't know, it's what I grabbed. Now I'm adding some actual corn to my cornbread. That's my personal preference. If you don't like it, don't do that. And then into the pan it goes, and we're gonna get that a bacon. 400 degrees. Sure. It's whatever the box said. And then here we have our protein for the day. That's a spatchcocked chicken. So stay tuned for part two to see where we go with that. So I got my boyfriend to spatchcock a chicken for me. Here is the process here. Now he does talk you through it, as you can see, but I needed this to be a lot faster. So basically, you're cutting the spine out, and then you're flattening it all up, and then you're kind of breaking. Yeah, see, you're giving it chest compressions until she's nice and flat, like such. Thanks, Eddie. In the meantime, shred all the cheese for the mac and cheese. That it ends up being like 3 pounds of cheese. She's happy about it. Okay, don't worry about her. I'm seasoning my blanching water with Maldon because that's all I had in the building. That's crazy, I know. Cavatappi, the kind that will like hold a lot of sauce. You want that one. I had to fish this out of the trash because I didn't read how long this takes. It was like 9 minutes. Anyway, here's our mounds and mounds of cheese. Stay tuned for me messing up this recipe. So, all of our seasoning coming together, a little bit of paprika and garlic powder and such. Now we're making a roux here, folks. A little bit of equal parts butter and flour, and it's gonna get oh, cornbread's done. Anyway, back to the roux. We're gonna season it with like half of the seasonings, only half for now, and then mix, and you want to cook down the flour a little bit in your roux. And then we're gonna add, whoa, trying to wait, hey yo, sorry guys. So I chose evaporated milk because I see that a lot in mac and cheese recipes. Don't mind me or my toast spreaders. Um, Evaporated milk, I think, is the best option for macaroni and cheese. I highly recommend it. Then you're gonna finish off your cheese sauce with a little bit of heavy cream as well, and then is when you add the last half of your seasoning. Get it all nice and incorporated. Now here is where things go horribly wrong. Now I don't realize it yet. I started shoveling my cheese in, and I'm like, okay, we're making like a real thick mornay here. It's gonna go. That's our brown sugar going into our colored green base over there. Anyway, so I'm like putting the cheese in, and I'm putting in the cheese, and I'm like, man, this is getting really thick. And I was like, okay, well, I guess this is what it's supposed to look like. So pause on that. Carly is cutting up our collards, taking the stems out. We fished out the ham hocks, and now we're putting the greens in to wilt the greens down and cook them up. And then here is our chicken. We're gonna massage her nice and juicy like with some oil. Sorry guys. I got really into it at this point. I think the soda pop's kicking in. Season her up nice and good with salt and pepper. Sorry, so indecent. And then get her in a 400-degree oven and let her go. Join me in part 3 for our cheese sauce catastrophe. Love you, bye. Welcome to part 3 of cheese sauce catastrophe. So here's the issue, guys. I put all of the cheese, and I wasn't supposed to put all the cheese because once I got the cheese in the macaroni, I was like, "Hey, dude, this is way too freaking thick. Half the cheese was supposed to go on top." But no, we put this coagulated mess into my pans. It's fine. We're gonna cover it up with some breadcrumbs and some Parmesan cheese. We're not even gonna know the difference. Throw it in the oven with your chicken. There she is. Hello, lady. Meanwhile, Carly is shredding up our ham hocks. I'm getting the action shots right here. Mostly, I was just trying to avoid this job, and she is a trooper for. It's hot. You can tell it's like steaming in her hands. Anyway, she's doing great. So what we're doing here is we're cooking down our collards in the oops, sorry guys, in the chicken stock mix, and then once this is all shredded up, we're gonna get it right back in with the collards. This was my favorite thing we made today. I cut out the middle square like a psychopath because I earned it. Okay. Now, I made a little snack for us, a little in between snack, some Maldon and hot honey and cornbread. And I'm showing it to you in the lighting of my laundry room because this is where the best lighting is. Look at that. Ooh, ooh. Let's get a different. Ooh, you see that angle? That looks good. That looks really good. So there is my offering to Carly and a little bit for myself here. Please enjoy this view of me eating cornbread. It was, you can see how good it was. Anyway, chicken came out. She's nice and golden, so beautiful, so lovely. So I was like, okay. Now I took her out early because I wanted to put a little Japanese barbecue sauce on top and have that caramelized. Now this wasn't as thick as I thought it was going to be, but whatever. Get her back in the oven. Take out our mac and cheese. It is bubbling. I was a little worried about it. It's okay. So here's our chicken, nice and done. Look at that color. I was really proud of myself. And I tempted. Are you kidding me? 166. 166. I'm a freaking wizard. Okay. I needed to give you like, oh, look at that shot. Look at this shot. Oh baby. Okay, the mac and cheese not as much of a catastrophe as I thought. Is it a little thick? Yes. I'm also terrified of burning my mouth. I think it's the worst thing ever. Oh, but it was good and I look like a who eating it. Break out the fine china, ladies and gentlemen, because we are going to cut into this bad boy. That was the most aesthetic way I could think to move that with one hand. Look at the steam coming off of that sweet, sweet chicken. I was so proud of this. 166. Anyway, here are the collards. Like I said, easily the best part of the whole meal. Apple cider vinegar sets it off. Guys, I was so proud of us. We did this under the influence. And then Eddie had so much food to come home to. Okay, I love you guys. Goodbye.